Marcus Rashford is in big trouble. Him and his agent arrived at Carrington this morning to talk to Erik Ten Hag. But what's gone down? Why has he brought his agent? What will his punishment be? Will he be suspended? Will he be fined? Could he even leave in the summer as InEOS wants to crack down on high wage players causing trouble? Well, we're going to discuss that in today's video, and then we're going to get into 5 things we learned from Manchester United 4, Newport County 2. But let's talk about Rashford. Let's talk about what went down. Let's talk about Rashford's future at the club. So it was said that Marcus Rashford arrived at Carrington this morning for showdown talks with Ten Hag. The last time we had that sentence was Ronaldo when he came back, probably August, July, because I think Ronaldo missed pre-season. August 2022, Ronaldo came with his agent and had showdown talks with all those at United where they begged him to stay. Rashford is now having showdown talks with Erik Ten Hag, like Sancho did, like Ronaldo did, and you know when his agent's there, it is more than he was just ill. When Ten Hag said it's an internal matter, I will deal with Rashford, you know it's more than him just being ill, it's to do with the partying. It was said that Marcus Rashford's brother and agent Dwayne Maynard is also at Carrington this morning. United acknowledged there's a separate issue aside from Rashford's illness. Marcus Rashford is facing disciplinary action from United. So Rashford is going to be facing disciplinary action. Him and his agent are there to talk with Ten Hag, which is probably to talk about the disciplinary action that he is going to face, to explain themselves, to maybe try and get him out fine or try and get him out of any kind of disciplinary action. But you can tell that United and Ten Hag are going to crack down on this. The fear was Ten Hag going to let Rashford off? Because Ten Hag's very strict on a lot of our players, but he's quite lenient on Rashford. Were the club going to let Rashford off, protect Rashford, or is he going to get the same treatment that Ronaldo, Sancho and others have got? And it looks like that is the case. It was said that Marcus Rashford is reportedly set to be fined $650k, which is about 2 weeks' wages, for missing training after being pictured out in nightclubs. It was said that Rashford is facing a 2-week wage fine, partying and missing training by other sources as well, and that Rashford is now facing disciplinary action from United. So we know that Marcus Rashford is set to face a fine and disciplinary action. The big question is, will he be suspended for the Wolves game? What do you guys think? I want to talk about that in today's video. Should he be suspended for the Wolves game? Should he be dropped? He obviously wasn't involved versus and Newport County, but that's different. That's an FA Cup game. Surely Ten Hag has to make a statement and say, you are dropped from the Wolves game because you lied to me. You lied and said you were out Wednesday, not the Thursday. We've come out and we found out that you were out on the Thursday as well as the Wednesday. You've lied. You're not in good form. What is going on here, Rashford? What's going on with you? Your head's not in the right place. You missed the Wolves game. I think he'll be suspended for the Wolves game. I think he'll be fined 650k, 2 weeks' wages. Man, I love those wages. That's ridiculous, those wages. And I think potentially, if this is a problem, if there is more to this, if there's more to this than meets the eye, I mean, this could be a big overreaction and there could be some misunderstanding and he could generally be ill, but there could be more to this than meets the eye. Maybe InEOS will have to look about what do we do with Rashford. Erik Ten Hag said Rashford called in sick. The rest is an internal matter. I'll take care of it. As I said before the match, it's an internal matter. And I think you can tell by Ten Hag's words, they found out that Rashford wasn't sick. He lied about being sick, not coming into training and went out partying. And I think that's the problem with Ten Hag, is the lying. You lied. You said you were ill. I trusted you. I found out you weren't ill. Now I won't be able to trust you. That's sort of what it could be. So could this be the end of Rashford at United? Let me know your thoughts down below, because InEOS are keen to move on big wage players. Varane and Casemiro linked to leave. Sancho really liked and moved on. Rashford's one of the highest earners, just a little bit more than Martial. InEOS are keen to move on the big earners. Ronaldo had similar meetings before his exit with George Mendes. He came back, had similar meetings. They convinced him to stay, and then in the next transfer window he left for Saudi. InEOS want to make a statement on player power, and I think InEOS is very clear of, if you muck about, if you're out. And I think if InEOS got rid of Rashford, he was player of the year last season, scored 30 goals and our best player, because he was mucking about this season, he was disrespecting the manager, he wasn't performing. That sends a statement to the rest of the squad of, we're serious now, you can't be at United if you underperform as well. But the big question is, we don't know the full story. We don't know everything. It could be this big overreaction. It could be something that's sorted, but he needs to be fined. He needs to be punished. I think he needs to be dropped from the Wolves game. I think many things need to happen 100% as well. And hopefully, best case scenario is just kicks Rashford into gear. He works hard. He apologises to the manager. He acknowledges what he's done wrong, and he gets his head back in United. Worst case scenario, he doesn't step up, and he might have to leave in the summer. Now, I want to talk about 5 things we've learned from the Newport game to end off this video. And the first thing is we don't pass the ball to Hojlund. We don't pass the ball to Hojlund. And even Bruno said post-match, we were greedy when we were 2-0 up. We became selfish. Instead of passing and making the right move for the team, we went for goal. And this was an interesting thing that was said by United faithfuls. None of Hojlund's last 3 goals have been assisted by any Man United player. 5 out of Hojlund's last 8 goals this season have not been assisted by any United player. Shambles, he's been living off scraps. Reminds me of when Fergie told his players, I brought a striker in Van Persie. If you can't pass the ball to him, you won't play. The team must be better. And it's true. I mean, the cutbacks, we went 2-0 up really early on because we were doing cutbacks. Once we went 2-0 up, everyone just shot. We were not passing the ball to Hojlund. He was there. Hojlund would get the ball. He'd lay it out. Hojlund could have had an assist. Hojlund got a higher XG than both wingers combined. And Hojlund had a lower XG. So Hojlund got a higher XA, which is expected assist than both wingers combined because he set up his teammates but didn't get an assist. But Hojlund got a lower XG than both his wingers combined and he got a goal. Hojlund is living off scraps. He makes good runs. He's a good dribbler. He gets the ball in the box. He scores. This guy deserves the ball. It's like his teammates don't like him. It's like they just refuse to pass the ball to him. It's ridiculous. Going into a more positive thing, so I do want to dive through these, so I'm not dragging on for ages, but I think Lissandro and Martinez is absolutely quality. What we saw today is we looked a lot better in build-up. Luke Shaw grew into the game, but you can see Martinez and Shaw, how they contribute to us progressing the ball up the pitch. Martinez is the only guy that's able to sort of play the ball up the pitch from defence, step into midfield, progress the ball, keep possession well. Him and Kobbie Mainoo are technically secure players, and that is something we lack. I thought he was good. I thought his passing was good. I think his ability in possession was good, but he won all his tackles. He won all his duels. He made a key pass. He created a big chance. At 87 touches, he was very much in control, and he's one of the few technical players at United, few players with that technical quality, and you can see how much better we were building up with him and Shaw. And he's one of those players that needs to be protected with Hojlund, with Kobbie Mainoo, because this guy is quality. But the wingers weren't quality. Now, I like Garnacho. I think he's great. I wanted to see Amad Diallo play. I don't know how he didn't get on, and maybe Ten Hag doesn't want him. And I do like Rashford. I think there's a good player there. But maybe wingers will need to be moved on. I think Sancho and Anthony will likely be out. If Rashford doesn't step up, he could be out. Pellistri's expected to exit, and maybe even Amad will go because Ten Hag didn't play him, and I like Amad, and he deserves to be playing. For me, this summer, United need to go for Nico Williams and Elise. If one of those players ends up going, they should look at Neto, they should look at Sule, they should look at Bakayoko. I like Neto. I'm just a bit worried about his injury record, if you get what I'm saying. But Manchester United need to look at one of those wingers. We need 2 wingers. We need 2 centre-backs, 2 midfielders, 2 wingers, an experienced striker, and potentially a right-back in the summer. There's lots to do. And one of the reasons there's lots to do is because we're just technically poor. But is it down to the lack of player quality, or could some of these problems be down to Ten Hag's tactics? Because I think while the players weren't fit enough, while the player quality isn't there, and I think Ten Hag is working with a squad of players that aren't trying, that maybe don't have the quality, you've also got to look at statistics like ball retention. You know, Casemiro playing as a 6, the deepest receiver, but struggling in possession to retain the ball. What is Ten Hag going to do to adapt and fix that? That is something that has been one of Casemiro's flaws. We know that he's not good in possession, but Ten Hag's not adapting that. Why is Bruno playing deeper than Mainoo? Why is Bruno dropping deeper? Why isn't Bruno higher up the pitch? Because the path that would be from Bruno to Hojlund is blocked off because Bruno's too far away from Hojlund. Why don't we play Bruno closer to Hojlund so we can actually, if the wingers aren't going to create for Hojlund, maybe Bruno can? Why is the rest defence structure poor again? Why is it whenever we lose possession, we have so much ground to cover, relying on so many players to get back, we're so positionally poor? And that is something that's been an evident problem all season. Why has that not been adapted? But more importantly, the wingers are not giving the striker service again. And if I'm Ten Hag, I'm saying to Garnacho, I'm saying to Anthony, cross the ball. And it's like they continue to make the same mistakes, but it's like, is Ten Hag pointing out the issues to them? Is Ten Hag telling them to cross the ball? Who knows? But going into my 5th and final point, while I think Ten Hag tactically needs to adapt, he needs to be less stubborn, I do look at this and I say, look, the players lacked intensity. They don't look match sharp. The confidence of this squad after we conceded to a 16th place Newport County, how they looked lost, was worrying. And some players don't seem bothered. And I think a lot of it just comes down to lacking the player quality, weak mental side of the players, and lacking intensity. And some of that Ten Hag needs to help and deal with, but some of that It just means that these players need to go because they're not meant to play for a club like Manchester United if they don't believe in themselves after conceding to Newport County. If we drop off after conceding a goal, I think that is particularly embarrassing. But listen, people, please do hit that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Thank you for watching today's show. Let me know your thoughts. What would you do with Rashford down below? Would you fine him? Would you suspend him? Would you sell him? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts on the Newport game. See you next time. Bye.